Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for October 28, 2025. This is a tropical update regarding Hurricane Melissa. Please hit that subscribe and like button on the way in. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Hurricane Melissa, which made landfall about lunchtime, 12 to 1 o'clock p.m. Along the western and southern coast of Jamaica. And it continues at New Hope, Jamaica, and it continues to make impacts through Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios is next in line here as it continues to progress to transist the island of Jamaica and reemerge out into the Caribbean Sea later on tonight. Right now, the current sustained winds, are at 150 mile an hour, 145 mile an hour as of the 5 p.m. advisory Eastern Daylight Time. The movement has sped up, is north-northeast now at 8 miles an hour. And again, it's still a strong Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. It has caused a lot of power outages in Jamaica, as that we know. And a lot of flooding is ongoing as that storm surge came in about an hour or two ago. Previous preliminary estimates had it about up to 13 feet of surge possible to the east and southeast, and directly east and south of the center of circulation that came ashore earlier today with those 185 mile an hour winds, Category 5. Now it's down to 145. It will continue to weaken as it crosses over the Blue Mountainous terrain there, and it would be still a Category 4, strong Category 4 as it approaches eastern Cuba and the Guantanamo Bay area, making a landfall on Wednesday. Still a major hurricane, a 115 mile an hour storm coming out on the other side, affecting possibly southeastern Bahamas. Turks and Caicos, you're under tropical storm watch. You probably get the fringes of it as it continues to accelerate northeastward out toward Thursday and Friday. Towards Bermuda, possibly as a Cat 2, impacting Bermuda on that right dirty side there. So right now, as of 4 or 5 p.m., the winds are at 145 mile an hour winds there, and it's moving northeast at 8 miles an hour. All the models are in excellent agreement here. The consensus models here are all in excellent agreement that it's going to impact eastern Cuba next, and then southeastern Bahamas Islands over toward Bermuda by Friday, and then accelerating out possibly in the Canadian Maritimes later on in that forecast period, Sunday morning or late Saturday night, affecting the Canadian Maritimes, PEI, and then on out to sea. So that's what we have going on with Melissa here. But it's a historic storm. Pressure came down to 898 lower than 900 millibars, and this is the third strongest storm on record, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, the concern is with the onshore flow coming into Jamaica, most of Jamaica, it's going to be the flooding. Kingston fared well. You can see the hurricane cams here that people have been watching all day, courtesy of Jamaica webcams here. You can see Kingston still under rain and tropical storm force winds, gusting maybe 40 to 45 at times. But they were spared the storm surge that came in over to the west out there. They were spared the storm surge, which was great, excellent news there. Power will be stored by JPC, that's the Jamaica Power Company there, and they will do that restoration as soon as it's safe to do so. But overall, the east side, Kingston and the east parishes were spared, and the worst of it was felt just to the east of Montego Bay, and also into Ocho Rios and places like that, Lucia. But like I said, those places, they're experiencing that right now. But it's just more so heavy rain and stuff, as those heavy winds are only confined. Those winds that are at 150 mile an hour are only confined to about 20 miles away from the center. As the storm collapses, the eye collapses, and it weakens a little bit. And so that's some of the good news, if there's any good news. But it's still going to be a long recovery process, obviously, because there's a lot of trees down on the power lines there, as you can see in the photo here. And there's a lot of trees down with power lines. And so that's something that they're going to have to really be careful with, and a lot of flooding going on as the rain will continue through tonight. Won't be all said and done with the rain until about Wednesday afternoon. Jamaica will be all said and done with that rain there as the system pulls away 2 p.m. and that'll be more for Turks and Caicos and certain Bahamas to deal with more of the rain showers there as it continues. Hurricane watch in effect for Bermuda later on this Friday at 2 a.m. as the system makes its move. That's the new warnings. All the other warnings, tropical storm warnings for Haiti and continue, as well as the in blue, as well as for Cuba, western Cuba toward the Havana capital, and also the Turks and Caicos are in the tropical storm warning areas in blue. Now the tropical hurricane warnings are for southeastern Bahamas Islands, eastern Cuba, including Guantanamo Bay, and hurricane warnings are still in effect for all of Jamaica as we continue to deal with the spiraling bands of what was Hurricane Melissa here, an historical storm here. And we are so blessed, and it's just like I predicted. I told you we're coming along the western tip of Jamaica. There just came in about 15 miles to the southeast of Negril, Jamaica. And they had the famous diving place there, Rick's, and the diving board there. It came in just to the east of the resorts there in Montego Bay, but they experienced high winds, and so people were sheltered. Over 25,000 people were sheltered in those resorts between Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, and Negril. A lot of students, and some was able to evacuate according to the news. But that's, blessings is that this storm is pulling away now. It should reemerge into the Caribbean Sea later tonight, possibly about 9 or 10 p.m. It'll be reemerged into the western Caribbean Sea on its rendezvous with eastern Cuba, which is going to have a formidable storm, Category 4 storm heading for its doorstep here. And so it have to contend with that. And we have to see if it contends with some of the Cuban mountains as well, because Cuba is mountainous on the eastern side, but it's flat on this side of Cuba where it may make landfall, so it may not slow it down that much at all as for those dealing with it in southeastern Bahamas as well, and Turks and Caicos. So powerful major hurricane throughout all of tonight and tomorrow. Melissa, it will continue to batter Jamaica. We'll see the rain totals coming out probably tonight too as well. I imagine most places the ground was already saturated, as Jamaica's rainy season has been one of the rainiest Octobers for Jamaica and previous. So this is going to be at least 10 to 20 inches on the order, or possibly locally 30 inches in some of the mountainous terrain of the Blue Mountains. Some of the higher elevation communities might got more rain as the orographic lifting. So we're getting all of that later tomorrow. But for right now, Melissa's made landfall and is moving. We're getting ready to reemerge off the coast of Jamaica here in about next 3 to 4 hours here. Northeast at 8 miles an hour is the movement. 140 mile an hour winds right now, 145 mile an hour winds, Category 4, and there's the path one more time here. So we're blessed that Kingston was spared. The harbor, the airport is spared. But of course on the western side, with prayers and thoughts go for our friends on the western side from the Black River westward. Mandeville turned out pretty good. I just saw a couple of trees down there, and power outages as normal. That's to be expected. But overall, I think it fared pretty well. But west side communities like Montego Bay, possibly Ocho Rios, possibly, and the grill fell pretty well as well. So we don't know about Montego Bay yet because the cameras are down, but we're picking up some heavy winds there as the system passed by. Maybe the western eye wall or northwestern eye wall passed by there. So we have to wait and see what happens with that. But there could be, obviously, was a water rise and some damages there, but to be expected. Maybe some, damage to the roofs and shingles that were leaking, and some roofs were leaking at some of the resorts there. Reports are coming out of there. But as far as the webcams in Kingston, everything looks pretty normal. Just a breezy, typical tropical storm conditions. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Not much lightning also with this system, or tornadoes with this system on the right front quadrant. You normally would expect that with severe mature hurricanes, but there was lightning on the satellite all the way up to it, but I don't think there was much lightning in the eye wall. We'll have to get more video for that closer to the approach of landfall once it comes out. But right now, as far as Kingston, just brief showers and some occasional gust of wind. But you can see on the webcams here from the transport city to Devon's house over toward Halfway Tree Road here. You can see things are just, a rainy, breezy day. Nothing too much out of the ordinary. But power will be restored in a couple of days, and we'll give you more details here on how that goes. Weeks for some people on the western side of Jamaica. We'll see how that goes as well. But once again, this Hurricane Melissa, Category 4 now, and making its way back over the Caribbean Sea in the next 3 to 4 to 5 hours here as it transverses the western side of Jamaica. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.